Try traveling to your best self.
So glad you guys are here for day 2 of Colt. George and I are so pumped to get to know you each a little bit better. We should start by doing some introductions. My name is Tim Mulderrig. In a past life, I was a state officer of the Delaware FFA back in 2019 to 2020. I'm from the Middletown FFA chapter. Let's go. I'm a senior at the University of Delaware where I study plant science and biology.
My name is George Peters Jr. You all can call me George. I was a state officer from 2018 to 2019. I am from the great Smyrna FFA chapter, and I am also a senior at University of Delaware, just like Tim. My majors are sports health and psychology.
Well deserved. Y'all might be wondering what is with me and George's fit. Why do we look like this? George, will you give him a little information about us?
So, we look like this because we are time travelers. We came back all the way from 2026 to be here with you all today to ensure that you all become the leaders that will help save the world tomorrow. Tim, why are we dressed this way?
We are time travelers here to create the leaders of tomorrow, and we're going to do that in a few different ways. We are time traveling to become our best selves. We need to figure out how we got to this point by identifying some values and figure out where we're going by doing a little future planning. Sound good? Yeah. Awesome. So George and I...
Wait, Tim,
yeah.
Explain why we're dressed like this.
Oh, George, you're so right. So we're giving you guys a little bit of an insight so that when it comes to 2026, you guys are the coolest kids in school. In 2026, the COVID fashion, the dressed up top, chill on the bottom for a Zoom call, it didn't die. That's the fad. That's what remains. So when you hit 2026, this is the look. You got a little floral tie going, some Crocs. This is the look.
This is the top, party on the bottom.
Let's go. That's right. So as time travelers, George and I are constantly on a mission to save the world. Whether we're going back, way back in time or to the future, chances are we've already crossed paths in your life and you didn't even know it. And when it comes to saving the world by time traveling, we have to be super decisive all the time. We need to figure out what year to go to, what exactly to do when we get there so we don't mess up that space-time continuum thing. That's messy stuff. We don't mess with that. So decisiveness is key as a time traveler. And in a moment, we are going to get an opportunity to test our decisiveness here at Colt. And here's how it's going to work. So just on the word go, we are going to spread out in that open space over there. When we get over there, we'll make sure that we have about an arm's length of distance between us and anybody else. Avoid standing directly behind someone and directly to the side of someone. Be a little off-center. What can I clarify about our setup for the next activity? What was that? Oh, you're good. When we get in position, we will await further directions. Ready? Head on over. Make sure you're also not too close to a wall or anything that you might end up hitting. We're gonna face this direction. This will be the front. Okay, seems like we're all there. Maybe we can spread out a little bit more on this side, maybe come a little bit away from the island. Yeah, great job. You might need to scoot out a little bit as well. Yeah. Awesome, looks like we're there. So to put our decisiveness to the test, we are gonna do a few rounds of a game called This or That. Here's how it's gonna work. George and I are gonna take turns reading off you guys 2 options. For example, I might say peanut butter or jelly. If you prefer peanut butter, step to the left. If you prefer jelly, step to the right.
What about neither?
That's a great question. If you really don't have an opinion or you can't decide, you can stay put right where you are. There might be some move forward or back thrown in and just to get ourselves a little spread out. And the catch is that our eyes are gonna be closed the entire time and we're gonna remain silent. So we can't really figure out where other people are. What's that? Great. Don't worry, George and I will not allow you to run into someone else or crash into a wall or something. We got you. What can I clarify about this or that? Seems like we got it.
Yeah, before you close your eyes though, take a mental picture of the space here. Look around, see who you're next to.
Who's nearby.
See where you are in the room. And then on Tim's word, we'll start the activity.
Let's close our eyes and we're gonna remain silent for the rest of the activity. Here we go, first round. Cats or dogs? If you prefer cats, step one step to the left. If you prefer dogs, one step to the right. Take a step backwards.
Our next one is about your music preferences. It's going to be country or pop. If you prefer country music, take a step to your left. If you prefer pop, take a step to your right.
This one is about FFA. If you prefer leadership development events, take a step forward. If you prefer career development events, take a step back.
This is a personal preference about which event you like more. If you prefer the state fair, take a step to your left. If you prefer FFA State Convention, take a step to your right. That's left for the state fair, right for the state convention.
This is a fun one. If you prefer the beach, take a step forward. If you prefer the mountains, take a step back.
This is going to be a left or a right. This one has a few more words to it, so listen closely. You find a pair of AirPods on the sidewalk. You decide to turn them in or hold on to them. Take a step to your left if you're going to hold on to them. Take a step to your right if you're going to turn them in.
Take a step backwards for me, sorry. You good? Here we go. This one involves some thought. A friend of yours has been making some bad decisions recently. Do you step in and help out, or do you stay out of it? Take a step forward if you're stepping in. Take a step back if you're staying out of it.
Our next one. You have a test tomorrow, but your friend invites you to hang out. You go hang out with your friend or stay home and study for your test. Step to the left for stay home and study. Take a step to your right for hanging out.
You can take a step this way for me, thanks. All right. You have the chance to go skydiving completely free of charge. Do you take it or leave it? Step forward if you're taking it, step back if you're leaving it. Step this way. Thanks.
This is our last one, and it's going to be a step forward or step back. An officer on your team has stopped fulfilling their duties. Do you set up a meeting with your advisor and the officer, or do you pick up the slack for the officer? Take a step forward if you're going to pick up that slack for the officer. Take a step back if you're going to have a meeting with the officer and your advisor.
Let's open our eyes, remaining silent where we are. Take a look around you. Think about that mental picture you had in your mind at first. Are you around the same people? Are you further away? What happened? How did we get here? What's your name? Jeffrey's all the way up here in the front. I don't know what happened here. Okay, with the mental picture of what happened in the beginning and the end in our mind, let's make our way back to our seats. If you can hear me, clap one time. If you can hear me, clap 2 times. Okay, we're there. That was a really great experience. You guys did really, really well with that. There's a lot to unpack, so let's get to it. Who can describe for me what it felt like that moment when you finally opened your eyes after the activity ended? Hey, what's your first name?
Gianni.
Gianni, what do you got?
It was a little disoriented at first.
Yeah.
1, bright lights, and 2, everybody was like super packed close together, and they weren't that way when we started.
Yeah, thanks, Gianni. She said people were super packed together, and that's not how it was when they started. What about Jeffrey?
I probably took a lot more forward steps than other people.
Yeah, Jeffrey was way up towards the front. He was stepping forward a lot when maybe others weren't. Yeah, thanks for that, Jeffrey. Who else has a thought?
It's kind of interesting because, like, from where I started, like, Libby, she was all the way over in the other corner, and then she was right next to me.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to see how far other people travel.
True, yeah. Did you kind of remain more or less in the same space? Yeah. And Libby kind of joined you? Cool, awesome, yeah. So that was a great lead-in. Did we end up standing next to the exact same people we were standing next to at the beginning? Were we like the same distance from them? Who can share?
No.
Right here, Adriana.
I think, well, I was towards like more of the front.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people were compact like behind me. So I feel like it kind of depends on everyone's preferences. Like some people, it almost seems like we travel as a group. Like the way we were kind of like ended.
Yeah, thanks for that thought. There was actually a lot of moments where I had to like intervene, and a few of you guys really felt me like pulling you a step forward, pushing you a step back so you didn't crash. I think I definitely had Janae a few times. I saw a hand back there. Who has a thought? Yeah, thanks.
Like, from when I looked around the first time, and then I looked around when I opened my eyes, I didn't, like, recognize any of the people.
Oh, wow, so it's totally new faces around you. Then, what's your first name again? Allison. That's good to see you in high school now. That's funny. Who else has a thought on where we ended up, people we were around? Let's think back to the questions you heard George and I pose. Were some of the this or that's more difficult to make a determination on than others? Yeah.
I think the last question was the hardest question.
Which one was that?
Someone on your officer's team has, like, been slacking off, and do you set up a meeting or do you talk to, or, like, pick up their slack? I think it was.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard because you don't want to pick up all their slack.
Yeah.
So much of them out.
Totally. Yeah. Who agrees with that one? Who agrees that that was a challenge one? Yeah, totally. Did you have a thought?
For the one where you asked if you would rather go to the beach or to the mountains, I've never been to the mountains.
Yeah, so it's like you don't even know what you're getting
So I
into.
can't properly like decide.
Yeah.
So I ended up just choosing the beach because that's the only place I've been.
True. Like familiarity plays a role in some of the decisions we made. Yeah, thanks, Gianni. Right here, Adriana.
I feel like some of the answers or the decisions were more clear than others. Like some you just had to like take a second to think.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, some were more clear than others. Others involved more than just a second of thought, for sure. So let me describe to you what George and I saw. When we were asking a question, we posed the exact same thing to every single person, and yet in any given moment, I saw some people move left and some people move right. Why do we think that occurred?
People have different opinions.
Different opinions. Yeah, say more about that.
On
What?
the AirPod one, you could return it thinking, oh, I'll find the person. And if you hold on to it, you could be, oh, I'm saving it for when I do find the person.
Yeah, thanks, Jeffrey. Different opinions, different approaches to a problem. Yeah, thanks for that. Who else has a thought? Did you have? Yeah, Janae.
I think maybe if they have different past experiences, it might help them, like, determine their future choices.
Totally. She said if they had different past experiences, it would help them determine their future choices. Can I get one more thought on this topic? Who has some from the back table? Who has a thought on why people made different choices? Yeah. Yeah. Totally. See things different, different thought processes. Yeah. I think you guys are really hitting on the head. Past experiences, thought processes, opinions. There are so many things that underlie the decisions and choices we make. And George and I believe that those can be categorized into a concept we refer to as values. Can I get someone real close up here to stand up and read the definition of values for us? Adriana.
Essential principles that we use to guide our actions, behaviors, and decisions.
Totally. Yeah, let's get some snaps for that definition. Thanks, Adriana. How do we feel about that definition? Oh, my lovely assistant George is gonna put the poster back up. Who agrees with the definition? Who thinks there's things to add? What do we think? Pretty good? Yeah, values are something really important to understand because, like the definition says, our values are tested every single day. Because each day we're making decisions, we are exhibiting actions, we are choosing behaviors to do. So it's really, really important we understand what a value is and then figure out what some of our values are. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Do you guys have the pamphlet, perhaps, or something to write on? Does everyone have something to write on? Yeah. Let's take 20 seconds to get something to write on and something to write with. If you are using the pamphlet, a notes page is a great spot to do this.
If you don't have one, let me know and I can get you something to write on.
Shoot a hand in the air if you need something, either something to write with or something to write on.
I need something to write with.
Something to write with for Jeffrey. Oh, here we go. We got. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, we're all there, yeah? So George and I did extensive research in preparation for this, and come to find out there are tons and tons of different values people possess in the world. And we are so gracious that we narrowed it down to just 56. 56 values that we could choose from. The values are being displayed on these charts on the wall.
And how many do you expect me to write?
We're getting to that. Great question. So there are so many values on this list. This is overwhelming to figure out which are like the essential ones to us. So we are going to have the opportunity to be guided through this process to figure out which are our core values. And it's going to start off like this. So take a few moments and write down 30, how many values? 30 values that you think are present in your ideal community. What questions are there on the prompt? Yeah, right here.
What do you mean by ideal community? Like, what do you think you would like your community to be like?
Yeah, she said, what do you mean by your ideal community? Is it what you think you want your community to be like? That's exactly it. Yeah, and the perfect place you want to live with the most amazing people, these are the values that are possessed. Does that clear it up a little bit? Awesome, thanks for that question. We'll take a few minutes to write down 30 values. Let's be thoughtful in this, but not work too slow. I'll put on some music for us. All right, you guys good with round one? Everyone's got 30 values?
Yes.
Cool. So from this point on, we are no longer writing down values from up there. We're using that list of 30 that we have. So for round two, we're going to cross out values until only 15 remain. How many remain? 15 values will remain. The 15 values that remain are the ones that you think are present in a strong family. So here we acknowledge that family looks different for different people. There's non-traditional, traditional families. You define family in your own terms here. What is present in a strong family to you? Awesome. Can I get the attention right here? I really appreciate how sincerely you guys are taking this activity. It's definitely really encouraging to see. Let's remember that our values might not be the same as the person to the left or right of us. So this is, we're using our own brain, our own hearts to make these decisions. I know they're hard, and it's just going to get a little harder right now. We're narrowing that list of 15 down to 10 values. These are the 10 values that you look for in a friend. Let's take 30 seconds to a minute. So right now we have 10 values remaining. We are going to narrow the list of 10 down to 5. These are the 5. Here, can I get all the attention here? All the attention here. These are the 5 values that you want to define your legacy. Narrow it down to 5 central values. If you can hear me clap one time, if you can hear me clap 2 times, if you can hear me clap 3 times, sick. You guys made it, no more crossing out of anything. We've narrowed down to our 5 central values. Let's take 3 seconds and just stare at our paper and get those in our memory so that they're locked away.
You got your mom?
Awesome. So we here think that there's power in knowing our own values, but we also think there's power in knowing each other's values. And just as you predicted, we are going to get the opportunity now to figure out what each other value. Here's how it's going to work. On the word go, we are going to rise out of our seats and make our way to the empty half of the room. Then we are going to introduce ourselves to a new person from a different chapter and share our 5 core values. If they have one in common, we would then follow behind that person. Here's how it will look.
How do we know who we follow behind?
Great question. Hi, I'm Tim. My values are faith, friendships, growth, service, and respect.
Well, we both have service. I'll follow behind you.
Awesome. So now I'm walking. Oh my goodness. Hey, Caitlin. My name's Tim. My values are blank, 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 blank. Yours are?
Wow, mine's blank too.
Oh my goodness. So now Caitlin's in front, and me and George are both following Caitlin. All the while, maybe George finds someone to follow, and then we're turning around going this way, you know? It's going to keep on going until we form a chain with the whole group. Yeah.
What if I don't have any in common with anyone?
Great question. Then you just keep looking to find someone you need.
But what if I can't?
Then,
Follow someone else then. So like your line will turn. So there's two ends of the line. We'll just follow the other side of the line.
he's saying, like, what if he can't find anyone at all that has any of the 5?
I can't find anyone.
Caitlin going behind you? Wait. Why do you go behind her now?
Because we have a value in common. So now I found one with George and Caitlin. So Caitlin needs to find someone with someone new now.
Okay.
Yeah, these are great questions. Who else has a question? Shoot a hand in the air. This is a lot of directions, I know. Do we all feel clear about the value chain activity?
Okay, so just to clarify.
Yeah.
You go up to someone and everyone's following behind you and you ask, and if you two don't have anything in common, then you go to the next person behind you and see if they have something in common?
You find a whole different person. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
The chain stays together.
Great question. Yeah. Any more questions? So remember, we are going to the empty spot of the room, finding someone from a different chapter and sharing our values, following behind one of the people if they have a shared value, forming a chain.
I want to find someone with the exact same values as me.
Let's see if we can get this done in 5 minutes or so. Ready? Go. Get it? Yeah. This is the first group that's actually gotten a whole chain. Let's go. Give yourself a hand. Awesome. Let's take our seats again. Clap one time. If you can hear me, clap 2 times. Awesome. Let's debrief that experience we just had. We successfully made a chain. Let's talk about it a little bit. Who can share with me how it felt when you found someone that had a shared value with you? Yeah, Kaylee, you got one?
It felt really good, like I could connect to somebody because the first few people I went to, I didn't have the same values.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have somebody that I could understand.
Yeah, she said it's nice to have someone who understands her and that she can connect with. Who else has a thought? Yeah, Keith.
It feels good to have somebody with like the same values as you because like they put that need like before lots of other things.
Yeah.
You have the same sort of like goal in mind.
Wow, yeah. Keith said they put that value before other things the same way you do, and they might have the same goal in mind. Who else has a thought on how it felt to find someone with a shared value? Yeah.
I found someone with humor, which I was surprised about.
Humor, that's a good one. Yeah. Who was the funny one of the group?
Him.
Awesome. Let's go. How did you feel?
I found someone with love.
Love, that's awesome. Okay, how did that feel to know that someone else values love?
Grateful.
Grateful, yeah.
Value.
Yeah.
I would like to know if anyone else has self-respect.
Who has self-respect in the room? All right. Oh, you just didn't look hard enough. Cool. Yeah, thanks for those thoughts. Who can share now, on the other hand, how it felt when we would share our 5 values and none of them were shared between our partner? Who? Let's see some hands. Yeah, Allison.
It felt kind of crazy because we're similar, but like we're also different.
Yeah.
We may have other things in common, but just not our values.
She said it was interesting that we might feel similar, but there was still like different values. There might be other things in common. We just don't know. Who else has a thought? Oh, I almost thought yours were here. Yeah, right here.
It was a little disappointing to know that this person generally seems like a nice person, but they don't have the same values as you.
Yeah. A little disappointing. Like they seem really great, but different values. Who else has thought? Yeah, right here.
I kind of agree with the disappointing thing, but then I like kind of thought to myself that everybody, like back to the thing about backgrounds, like everybody comes from different like raisings and everybody's values are different.
Totally, yeah.
So just because we didn't have the same 5 doesn't mean that we couldn't have had some of the same 15 or some of the same 30.
Yeah, she said just because we didn't share the same top 5 didn't mean that there weren't other commonly important values. Totally, yeah. Different backgrounds influence that, for sure, yeah. I think a great example of the way that some people can have different values but still be great friends and grow from one another is me and George. I love this guy so much. He's a great friend of mine, and it's been a friendship that's given so much to my life. However, George and I have very different opinions about stuff. We don't like the same food, don't like the same music. We have different goals in life, but we connect on many things, and you can overcome the differences of values, and that makes the friendship stronger, honestly. Having different values that we can grow towards with one another. Yeah. Here's the thought for you guys. How is having both shared common values and unique individual different values beneficial to a community? Who has a thought? Yeah, right here.
So it's like, it's not like the same here. Like, there's like, it's like you can see different things and not the same way.
Yeah, totally. Like people can view the same thing in different angles and different perspectives, and that's beneficial. I totally agree. Yeah, Caitlin, what do you got?
I was going to say that there'll be more balance because I mean all the values are important, but
Wow.
you'll be able to have an equal amount of the values being portrayed.
Yeah, I think she highlights something really important. Like, just because it wasn't in our top 5 values doesn't mean it's not an important value. And it's awesome that in a community, other people can highlight that and put energy and effort towards that. Let's go, Adriana.
I think diversity is also important
Yeah.
in the community because you don't want everybody, you don't want the same of everything. Like that's boring.
Totally, yeah. Diversity strengthens communities, for sure. Right here.
Okay, so I think maybe it's like you have stuff that you can connect with people on something, but at the same time, you also have room to learn something from
Wow.
that person.
Yeah, totally. Did everyone hear what she said? That was really, really insightful. She said, we have the opportunity to connect with people over shared values, but then we have something to learn and grow towards with different values. That was really insightful. Thank you for sharing that. Any final thoughts on this? Yeah, Keith, what you got?
Everybody brings something else to the table. So
Totally.
everyone brings their unique set of ideas and we can help collaborate to figure out what's the best.
Yeah, I totally agree. He said everyone brings something different to the table. If there was a community full of just Tim, it wouldn't be a very strong community, right? Because there'd be so many things lacking that I am not skilled at or passionate about, right? Yeah, what you got?
I agree with what Keith said. Like, I don't know if like any of the rest of us, any of us 5 girls had humor.
Yeah,
Keith brings humor to the officer team.
Wow.
I could bring compassion. Kaylee brings leadership.
Totally.
Janae has kindness, and Caitlin, like we all have different things, and like it's okay to not have them.
yeah, awesome. Very insightful. She was pointing out differences amongst this officer team for Middletown FFA, and I hope that each of you guys realize that and are encouraged towards that and appreciate each other for your different values that you share. Cool.
All right. So let's give a big round of snaps to Tim for leading us through the first part of the workshop. So now that we have